Hi, I'm Daniel.
And I'm Adam.
And welcome back to Mix Minus Recap Star Trek: Lower Decks. Tonight we're going to take a look at episode 10, the finale, titled No Small Parts.
You know what, Daniel?
What?
Tom Merritt said this was one of the best episodes of Star Trek that he has ever seen.
Oh, I have not heard their recap of this. Where did you hear this?
No, it was on Twitter. It was on Twitter. Yeah.
It's such a toss-up because the last episode just had me in stitches. I really loved the last episode. This episode would be like my second favorite. I feel like if I was an original series fan, or, you know, those old scientists, as we like to call them, I would have liked this one more. But I'm not an original. I don't remember Landru from the original. Do you remember that episode where the computer took over the town and they were all worshiping the computer?
I think so. I used to watch the original series with my dad. And it was the only night of the week that I could stay up late because he would come home from his swing shift at the bag mill.
I thought you were going to say from swing dancing. He came home from swing dancing.
No, he was a machinist or something for a paper bag factory. It doesn't really matter, but we would watch it, and I think I do remember. But
hey, Adam.
Yes,
there are no small jobs. There are no small parts.
I see what you did there. No, I think this was my favorite episode, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
I felt like this was the least comedic and most Star Trek-like episode of the 10 that we've watched. And so I think that's why I liked it the best.
I will agree with you there. I feel like there was just something visually different about this episode also. Like the Cerritos and the new starship, the one that got destroyed that I can't remember its name. I'll worry about
the Shenandoah. I don't know. Sure. It started with an S. We're really good.
But yeah, no, those were, and the new ships that showed up, the alien ships that showed up from the Packlids. They were gorgeous. It really was an awesome animation style, and I don't quite think that the rest of the season has had that level of, you know, kind of almost realism to the, not realism, but realism in a cartoonish kind of a way. Anyway,
yes.
The point is, yeah, I could see that. So. Of course, Landru, whatever, that whole original episode series starts off this episode, in which gets us into our plot for this thing, which the plot is, of course, that Starfleet is really, really bad at maintaining all of the new planets that they discover along the way, right? That they listed this Keltak 3 or whatever as a known civilization, but yet the inhabitants had like reverted back to their old ways that they had saved them from. And it frustrates the captain, who utters, I believe, the best line of the show, which is, Starfleet has a policy of some interference.
Yeah, well, and even, I mean, the whole episode was based on that, because the Packlids, who we're going to meet in a moment, were not behaving as expected by Starfleet.
That's also part of the whole non-maintaining thing, right? The Packlids were pretty much from the original, you know, from the Next Generation, and they were a joke. They were, you know, stupid, and they stole stuff and whatever. So, you know, now that they've come back to be an actual threat because everyone just ignored them and thought, oh, that's just a joke. You know, it was kind of funny. There's a lot of cute little callbacks in this one, though. I know that you said this one wasn't funny, but I thought some of the exocomp stuff with Peanut Hamper and Tindy was kind of funny. It was very cute. Do you remember
I mean, not that it matters, but those people that they met, I know that was very descriptive of me.
Those people that they met.
Tindy goes in with Rutherford or whoever. They go into
she was meeting the new recruits.
Bay.
She was meeting the new
recruits.
Yes.
Okay.
And this is exactly how Tindy came into the show in episode 1, right? So in episode 1, Tindy was the new recruit who was assigned, you know, Mariner was assigned to be her envoy or whatever. No, it was Boimler that was assigned to be her envoy. Anyway, not important. Here, Tindy was assigned to be an envoy of this exocomp.
So are these like the the interns, like in the
Yeah.
summer,
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Walmart where I work, we'll get interns.
Correct.
And so is that kind of like what these are? They're like,
Yes.
oh, we're going to intern with you.
Exactly. These are ensigns that are coming on, just getting posted to a ship, so they need someone to show them around to see what all the duty rosters are, all that kind of stuff. So, but none of that's really important. The main thing here is that the Packlids had destroyed one starship, and then the Cerritos comes screaming into this situation here, and we've, has to basically, they almost get destroyed, and that's when the captain basically turns to Mariner and says, I need someone who breaks the rules, who can get us out of this, and I'm looking at you. So
now, but I mean, you forgot to mention though, before this, we revisit the fact that Boimler has learned that Mariner is the captain's daughter.
correct. And he
so,
broadcasts it over basically the comms because he didn't know that he was talking in the comms. And so,
right.
yes.
And so everybody knows, and they're all sucking up to Mariner. Like she's like, I don't want to be sucked up to. Just treat me like normal, blah, blah, blah. And then, and so that's kind of leads up into, okay, now mom wants her to be her.
Yeah, she wants her to be
herself.
Mariner. She wants her to be Mariner. I mean, we heard a little bit earlier, as to their reasoning for keeping it secret, right? The captain, didn't want people to know that the most demerited member of Starfleet was her daughter, and Mariner didn't want people to think that she wasn't cool. Like, she didn't want to so he's like, they both had completely different reasons for not wanting to keep it, for wanting to keep it secret. Anyway, so when we turn to Mariner to save the day, she's awesome, right? She basically she's got Boimler wasn't being stupid or whatever. He was being a great second in command. They brought in Rutherford to download Badgie. Loved the callback to Badgie.
I hated Badgie, but it was a good callback.
It's a good callback, but we had a callback to Badgie there. Also,
I see you need a virus. Can I help you?
And then we ended up with the, that Star Trek trope that every new character that is suddenly introduced into an episode always ends up, not always, but a lot of times ends up being the person that saves the whatever of the week, right? It's just like, oh, isn't it amazing that we have this one person on the ship that we've never seen before that just happens to hold the key to solving this week's, problem on the ship. And I thought that's where they were going when they're like, we need someone to hand deliver this virus that, isn't, that can somehow get over there without a spaceship and blah, blah, and everyone looks at the exocomp and go like, you, and the exocomp's just like, nah, and I'll pass. I'm out. I'm out.
You know what? I'm going to beam myself out off the ship. See you guys later.
Right. So we end up with Mariner Rutherford going over. It was actually Shax, the security guy that threw him over his shoulder, basically, got him over to the other ship.
Right.
I don't know if you caught it or not, but right before the alien ship self-destructed and Shax saved Rutherford, he called him Baby Bear, which is a callback to when Rutherford was briefly a member of the Bear Pack in the security squad.
No, I did not catch that. I know you watch it twice, so.
Yes, there's a lot of callbacks. Really, if you think about it, there's a lot of callbacks when they're fighting through the hallway and attacking the Packlids, and Mariner starts kicking open all these places that she's stowed illegal weapons all over the ship. Episode 1 started. That's how she walked in on Boimler, was trying to hide a bunch of illegal contraband that she got. So she's got it stowed all around the ship. So we're seeing payoffs for things that they set up early in the season here in this episode, including where she got the contraband from, because she got it from Will Riker, who just happens to show up in the Titan to save the day at the end of the episode, which I thought I was very close to, something got in my eye a little bit during that moment.
Yeah, Will and Deanna, and it was both, and they were both voiced by the people.
Yeah, Marina
by the
Sirtis,
actual actors. Yeah,
and Jonathan Frakes.
I looked it up.
Yeah, so. Somebody online pointed out that lore-wise, if you follow the books for the Titan, Tuvok should have been on the bridge also. but Tuvok was not in the shot there. But yeah, it was a great episode with a lot of callbacks, a really nice ending to this season, which other than about 2 episodes, I thoroughly enjoyed this show, way more than I thought I would. And I really, really am looking forward to season 2. It's like, before we talk about season 2 and where we left our characters at the end here, what did you think of, this episode plus, I've been talking a lot here, this episode plus the entire season?
Sorry, I was looking at my phone because I was Googling something, but I really enjoyed it. I will say that I hope that for season 2, because, the whole time I've been saying, man, I just got to get used to this comedy. But I felt like the last episode was the perfect blend for me of like the callbacks, but an actual Star Trek feeling story and an actual enough action in there. But they did have a lot of the jokey jokes as well.
Yeah.
I hope that season 2, they carry on and kind of that the way they did episode 10. But I liked it.
So when we left this episode, we had Brad Boimler that got transferred over to the Titan as a new lieutenant colonel or whatever the junior grade, lieutenant, junior grade, whatever. So he's now joined the crew of the Titan. Mariner is made a deal with her mother that, her mother agrees with what Mariner is doing, but can't do it because it violates protocol and she would get demoted. But Mariner could do this stuff for her if they work together. So it's like Mariner can be her little secret weapon to do things that Starfleet doesn't exactly approve of. So we end up with Mariner stuck on the Cerritos, Boimler going to Titan. Looks like Rutherford has completely lost his memory because his implant got removed. So he's completely lost his memory. And Tendi is unchanged that I know of. And Shax is dead. So what's going to happen in season 2? Do you think how much of that stuff is going to get undone? And
I think Boimler will come back because they're not going to have much Titan storyline because I don't think they're going to have, Riker and Troy all the time. So I feel like, we would have to lose that character pretty much. So I think he's going to come back. Either he's going to miss everyone and come back or something's going to happen.
Yeah, something will happen, and he will come back. I feel like he'll come back. Rutherford may or may not get his memory back. I don't think that's necessarily important. Tendi was very excited that she gets to become his best friend all over again. And
there are story opportunities there with him not having his memory. So I think
he won't remember Badgie, so we could get a whole new Badgie 2.0. And then Shax, I'm curious. The one thing I did notice is
he's gone.
Well, now think about this. As the shot of them sending him off into space, she had his earring in a box that she kept and was put on her captain's shelf. So it's like, why show us that she kept his earring if he's not going to come back and she can give it an earring back? It's like, come on, he's a Bajoran. The wormhole aliens. You've got the prophets. I don't know. There'll be something. Okay. I thought it was also a nice callback that Shax died in an explosion because Shax kept all season long wanting to blow something up. And so he finally got to blow something up.
Yeah.
But again, I could also see it being that Shax is gone and we get a new security guy. And maybe that's, like the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher on at Harry Potter or something. We just get one new one every year. Anyway, whatever it is, I'm excited for it next year. But at the place, at the end of the episode, where we normally would have gotten the preview for next week's show, instead we got
Discovery.
A trailer for the second season of Discovery, which is starting next Thursday.
Isn't it like the third season or
it's like the third season? I've been rewatching season 1 and 2, just kind of getting caught back up on the storyline and everything. I can't wait. The season's Discovery is going to be awesome. We're
excited.
We're not recapping it, so this will be the last Star Trek video that we do for a while on this channel.
Yeah, I wanted to mention one other thing that's not related to Lower Decks, but I saw an article today and I wanted to know what you thought about it. What's her name?
Oh, that's I love her. I love
Catherine
her work.
Janeway.
Oh, yes.
Kate Mulgrew.
Yes.
Is reprising her role as Captain Janeway, but it's on another animated one. It's Star Trek Prodigy.
Star Trek Prodigy is not only another animated show, but it's not on CBS All Access. It's going to be on Nickelodeon, and it is aimed at kids. It is a kids show.
It kind of made me sad because when I first saw Kate Mulgrew is going to reprise her role, I didn't see that it was like a kids animated show, and I was like, oh my God, they're going to bring her back like in Picard or something. I don't know. And, I was excited for a moment, but I don't think I'm going to want to watch like a children's Star Trek. So, but if anyone wants to see or hear her reprise her role, Star Trek Prodigy.
Well, if you want to hear us talk about Star Trek Discovery, you're going to have to listen to our regular podcast, which you can find at mix-podcast.com. And for the final time, then, do something. Just wait.
Live long and prosper!